Previously on the last Pokemon challenge. But I don't know if there is corruption or if people are just that dense. And coming up, I expect perfection even though I do no preparation, and that really is a flaw of my character, isn't it? Here's the deal, I've been awake for about 20 hours, but I've just read a comment on the NOCTOWL video and I'm inspired to do a 4 moves redo, so off we go. I picked Wing Attack, Hidden Power, Ice, Hypnosis and Return as our 4 moves for this challenge. And I think those moves are probably going to be the best moves for us with this NOCTOWL, because Hidden Power Ice should do enough against Jasmine with a little bit of luck, although we will have a nasty set of Magnemite to get through. Hidden Power Ice will also hopefully one-shot Lance's Dragonite. So really the only big trainers in this battle are Jasmine and Red. I can't see Price doing too much. Watch that bite me in the bum. In about 15 to 20 minutes time, we shall have to see. No encounters on the way up, which is absolutely brilliant. We'll get just a couple of spare berries on this one, and we'll engage the rival in battle for the first time. This is the first rival battle. He has a Totodile. We are going to Wing Attack this thing into submission, and we knock it out in 3 hits. Let's go and grab this extra berry, just to make sure we've got enough healing for the early and mid part of the challenge. Now, one of the moves, I beg your pardon, is an egg move for NOCTOWL. We cannot get Wing Attack via level up, so we are arbitrarily locked out of our best flying type move in normal gameplay, and that might help against Bugsy, make him a little bit quicker. The Magnemite line is going to be our Achilles heel in this challenge though. We are going to be relying an awful lot on luck against them. That is why I have gone for Hypnosis, to try and send it to sleep. I was considering maybe Mud Slap, but Mud Slap isn't great and it would do nothing against Magneton really. Even at quad super effective with the soft sand, we wouldn't be looking at a particularly useful move, and I think trying to send the Pokemon to sleep might end up being the better play. Let's show that we are the better bird against this Pidgey. Sand attack is annoying though, but I do want to try and get a little bit more early game experience. In fact, we're going to take on Bugcatcher Wade. We rarely battle him these days, but sometimes you've just got to beat up a Bugcatcher, especially when you have oodles of power points with Wing Attack. That's one thing that definitely goes in NOCTOWL's favour. Wing Attack has 35 PP. We should barely need to heal this thing for PP purposes. In fact, we're going to go straight in to gym number 1. This isn't Falconer, this is Abe, but sometimes he does feel like a gym leader. We'll use Hidden Power Ice, and it's going to be a 2-shot against the Spearow. Didn't take too much damage either because we are a fairly defensively minded Pokemon. And we'll move on to Rod, leading with a Pidgey. 1 shot on his first Pidgey and a 1 shot on his second Pidgey. Brilliant. Let's use another potion very quickly. And we'll take on Falconer, gym leader number 1 of 16. Flying type specialist leads with Pidgey. Let's use Hidden Power, let's get the 1 shots and the 2 shots out of here. 2 hits on the Pidgeotto, not bad at all. And that gives us our first badge in 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Let's get the heck out of here and let's start making our way down south. Hidden Power Ice is really strong in Generation 2, and I think it's going to come into its own in this challenge as well. By having Hidden Power Ice, we're going to be eliminating a lot of the big, bulky threats. It also gives us something for those pesky rock ground-type Pokemon that like to show their head in these challenges. So it means that if we do get caught by a hiker in the cave, we don't need to panic quite so much. Couple of encounters here on the way to get the super potion. I think I forgot the repel, so I should probably go back and grab that. We'll take our Hoppip. While we're here, we did forget the repel. Very glad I remembered it. Oh, we're getting all the encounters in this one. That's very, very, very annoying. Let's hope that's the last unforced encounter we get in this challenge as we do enter into the cave. Repel goes in top spot. Oh dear. That is a bit of a bug. Let me pause the timer. I know what's happened there. Bug fixed. Crisis averted. We are good to carry on. That is a holdover from the 16-bit item conversion. Very easy fix, it only took a couple of minutes. I'd already fixed it, I'd just forgotten to fix it for the NOCTOWL challenge, but now it is fixed for this challenge and future challenges, so it won't be an issue. We are now through the cave though, and we can go and face Team Rocket for the first time here in Azalea Town. I'm recording this on the same day that I did that bloody Milotic challenge, so I'm still a little bit peeved at any Lapras or Slowbro that show their faces in this challenge. So I'm going to make an extra effort to beat up any of those alongside our regular Lickitung murder that happens in these challenges. Let's take on some Rockets now though. They're going to be very, very, very easy, hopefully. Not too much to worry about with these Rockets. Wing Attack making very light work of that first set of Rockets. I don't think we're going to be breaking any records with NOCTOWL just because we don't have the greatest offensive capabilities. But I still think we're going to get a respectable time. My only aim for this one is getting a better time than we had in the previous challenge. Annoying that we got poisoned there as well. I do kind of wish that NOCTOWL had a slight buff to its base stats. It isn't exactly the strongest Pokemon in the world, and power creep is absolutely a thing now with NOCTOWL. You can see it's outclassed by later generation early root birds. I'm thinking Talonflame, maybe Corviknight, although I hate that Pokemon. Is Corviknight the last one? I think Corviknight's the last one. And even things like Toucannon, not Trumbeak. Trumbeak's the middle one. All of those kind of make NOCTOWL feel a little bit less good than it really is. NOCTOWL is not a bad Pokemon, but for a solo run, we're not going to be breaking records because we're not offensively minded. We'll see towards the end of the challenge our special defense being quite bulky and everything else being fairly middle of the road. It's not a bad Pokemon by any stretch of the imagination though, and what it lacks in offensive capability, it more than makes up for with that decent special defense. Towards the end of the challenge, we're going to be seeing a lot of special attackers, so having the bulk later on could really come in very, very useful. We're doing full trainers here in Bugsy's gym. Makes sense, all of these trainers are very, very, very weak to our flying type, as is Bugsy. Gym leader number 2 of 16, led with Metapod. Metapod is a 2-shot as we grow up to 16. Out comes the Kakuna, goes away the Kakuna. Scyther uses a Fury Cutter, it's going to be a 2-shot with a Wing Attack, and that is that for Bugsy. Earth Badge, not Earth Badge, Hive Badge acquired. Getting ahead of myself, the Earth Badge is the last badge. Clearly, I want sleep, so the quicker we get through this challenge, the quicker I'll be able to go to bed. Let's take on rival number 2. He leads with Ghastly, probably going to be a 2-shot. Nope, it's a 1-shot, even better. Hidden Power will 1-shot the Zubat, and then probably a 3-shot on the Croconaw, maybe a 4-shot. Looking like a 4-shot, unfortunately. Even Falkner's Badge Boost did not save us from 4-shots hell there. But that's fine, we get through, we'll stick on one of our repels, move them up to the top spot, and now we'll make our way through the forest with some really, really bad movement. My movement is so terrible in the forest at the moment. The repel's going to wear out like 3 steps early at the very least. Let's see where does it wear out. It wears out only 1 step early. I am being overly critical of myself, but I quite often am in these challenges. I expect perfection even though I do no preparation, and that really is a flaw of my character, isn't it? Like, I expect to be the best, but I don't do anything to make myself be the best because I can't face the prospect of running the same Pokemon more than once at a time, because then my brain gets bored and I start playing sloppily. There are very few Pokemon that I actually really enjoyed repeating. It's normally the ones where I can see improvement for my own personal best. Pokemon like Zangoose, Ursaring, Dodrio, they're the staple 3, I would say, that I quite often go back to, just because I find them really, really, really fun to play. Here's a Slowpoke, that's almost a Slowbro. We're going to beat these up, and we're not going to feel bad about beating them up. Donald goes down, not sure how we're going to do against Tiru here. We do have Wing Attack, which isn't too good, but we also have a lot of special defense. Paralysis is annoying. I'm just hoping that we can BS our way through this battle, to be quite honest with you. If we can get through this third Magnemite, we should be absolutely fine. We are getting very lucky with the paralysis rolls. Let's see, can we get 2 more hits off? Yes, we can. Teru goes down. Let's go and grab the coin case. And we're not going to do our standard Lickitung beating up, just because we're a little bit beaten up ourselves. You never know, in the rocket section I might go back just to beat him up, because I feel like it. There is another Lickitung trainer we can do near the Lake of Rage, who can be our substitute Lickitung Pinata for this challenge. And now that we have done a heal, we can get on the bike and we can go up Spinner Hell. Although I must remember to get off the bike. If we get off the bike, we hit no spinners. But we could probably do with the experience points, considering we have Whitney just around the corner. And Whitney is going to be a little bit of a tricky trainer, I've got to be honest with you. Please don't burn. As long as we don't get burnt by Fire Punch, we'll be absolutely fine here. No burn from the fire either, so we don't need to worry about that. You, look the other way, please. Quickie C? Let's get the Quickie C. We might need it. But then again, we might not. Always good to have it. It's only about 3 or 4 seconds to pick it up. So it is worth our time. Let's take on Mr. Oh Hi Mark. He's got a pair of Abra and a Kadabra. They are all made of paper, so they go down very quickly and get us up to 21. And then we'll take on Alan today because we do want to beat up his Tangler, because we've got hidden power, so it'll be a one-shot. Floria, what have you got to say to us today? The same as ever? Alright, no change for her there. Let's bring the rental Abra up to tippy-top spot. We'll do a very, very quick heal here in the Pokémon Center. And then we'll get ourselves in to gym number 2. This is Whitney's normal type gym. She's gym number 3, but I can't count at the moment. We've got a Schnappabubble to get through first. 2 hits on the Snubble takes care of that. Right, let's take on Whitney. Gym leader number 3 of 16. Leads with Clefairy. Clefairy uses Slack Off. That's one of our Gen 3 moves. I should not be allowing that, but I can't be bothered coding it correctly. Send the cow to sleep, please, just like that. And now we will try to knock it out while it's having a nice long nap. Yes, you missed your rollout. Thank you. We scammed your victory there. You have every right to cry. That was mean from us. We're going to leave and we're going to pretend that this never ever happened. Let's get out of here. Oh no, I'm stuck on her planters. That's not good, is it? Let's get out. She's probably going to be trying to take that badge off me in a second. You, the eavesdropping bitch, what have you got to say? Not a lot, but you're giving me the squirt bottle. Brilliant. Let us heal now and let us get ourselves over to Ecruteak City. We are going to get off the bike for Spinner Hell, because if we're off the bike, then we don't get spinners. So it's less Spinner Hell and more just Spinner Heaven, maybe? Let's now beat up this nasty Sudowoodo as well. There's no sense in trying to beat this thing up. Let's just run from it instead. We'll get ourselves the big hammer so that we can sell the drug for different drugs when we have defeated the rival. We don't want to take on... What's his name? Is he Eggy Greggy? He might be another Eggy Greggy. Can't quite remember. But we cannot dwell on that because we're going straight to Olivine City next. Hoping that Wing Attack will be enough for Morty, by the way. And we'll use up these 2 berries now. We've got no real need for them anymore. Not going to take on Norman unless we get caught by him. Don't think he's going to be a particularly quick battle for us. And we will, however, take on the married couple. This is Godstruth Ruth. She is a almost one-shot with return. She's also a cow because she paralysed our NOCTOWL. We're going to have to take it out on her husband instead. Return, please do your thing. Come on. Just hit once. Just one time. There we go. You're down. Derek, you smell. Repel's worn off. We do need to go 1 step left. Rival is going to chat some rubbish like he always does. And then we'll get ourselves into the Pokemart so that we can buy some Super Repels. 11 Super Repels should see us fit for the first part of the challenge. We'll chat up the burly man, get his phone number. We'll be utilising his services later. And we'll also do a quick heal in the Pokemon Center. On the bike we go and into the lighthouse to do a bit of light housekeeping. let's chat with you. You're Alfred. You have good taste in Pokemon, Alfred. But, I was going to say, but it's going to be a 3-shot. However, we crit. Our bird is better than your bird, so you can sulk away. Let's beat up some fire dogs now while we are at it. Return, by the way, is almost as powerful as Wing Attack at this point. I believe it's, what, 3 or 4 base points in between them now? So Return will become our main attacking move fairly soon. And we'll only use our Wing Attack when we absolutely have to. Considering getting the sharp beak, but I've not quite committed to that yet. Could be worth doing, but then again it might not be. There's no harm in changing the clock, it's only going to the 2nd floor in the Pokemon Center. 5 hits! You scumbag Terrell! Gonna speak to your manager, tell you off, gonna get Karen on you. Let's chat with Jazz, she's gonna sell us the same story as ever, we don't believe her, but we are very much shoehorned into following her storyline. Quick heal in the Pokemon Center, and then a quick trip upstairs to this guy. Not Sunday, we want Monday. We're also going to make it morning so that we don't have that offensively bright palette. You're not Monica. You're Monica of Monday. Give me your beak, please. Thank you. We will attach that now, and it probably won't come off our NOCTOWL for quite some time. Sharp beak could come in handy both for Morty, for rival number 3, and definitely for Chuck. Oh, we've got another bird keeper. This is Toby. Let's show him what for. Let's show him that we have the better bird, even though I really like the Doduo line. I think it's one of the best birds they've ever made. And it's criminal that they haven't done anything with Doduo. It's criminal they've not done anything with NOCTOWL either, though. And I'll tell you what, because I'm terrified of the Magnemite, let's take on the Kimono Girls as well. I'm not procrastinating the 3rd rival battle, you are. Tackle, is that all you've got, Flareon? Bit rubbish, aren't you? What have you got for us, Mrs. Espeon Lady? You have an Espeon which is going to try and confuse us, but we're a NOCTOWL, we are too smart to be confused. Up 3rd is one of very few Pokemon where we are at the advantage not having the V Psychic type on this challenge. So we'll get rid of the Umbreon and we'll move on to Vaporeon, probably going to be a 2-shot here. Growing up to level 26. Now, we really got to hope that we can do some good damage against this Jolteon. Return doesn't do too much. We're not paralyzed, though, so I will absolutely take that. Quick Super Potion, and we are back in business. Let us grab HMO3 and the Raft from the man staring at the stage. And now I have no choice. We've got to take on the 3rd rival battle. I wish we didn't have to. Terrified of this Magnemite, but we shall see what happens. This is rival 3 of 5. He leads with Haunter. Haunter's going to swear at us, isn't it? Yep, just like that. What have we got for Magnemite? Not a lot. We'll send it to sleep, and then we'll start returning it and hope for the best here. I think we're going to go down to Curse, you know. 3 hits on the Magnemite. We've got Hidden Power for the Zubat. What have we got for this Croconaw? Not a lot, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to take a reset there. Oh, tough one. Because he's probably always going to go for Curse. Might need to get a couple more experience points, you know. Could get the berry as well. That might end up being handy. Slam? That's very mean of you. We've got a couple of fairly easy trainers here. This is where having Mud Slap in a regular challenge would help. But obviously we do not have Mud Slap because we're not doing a regular challenge. But yeah, I always said the Magnemite line was going to be our Achilles heel. We'll take on Mr. Mime as well. We have taken on a few fewer battles than normal. So we are going in a little bit lower level than we otherwise would have done. Oh, Olivia. We don't want to face Olivia, but we have no choice. This is going to be an 8 million shot, isn't it? Let's go for Hidden Power now. It's going to be resisted, but we crit, so it doesn't really matter too much in the end. Going to get this Mince Berry, but did that just say the bag was full? No, it didn't. Oh, I need to toss one of those. We'd already picked one up, and I don't get multiple berries in a challenge. I think it's cheating. So yes, we'll toss one. We are back to when I meant to get this berry here, which is an actual berry. Valerie, my Valerie, you have gone down. We might even need to take on Eggy Greggy down on the route below and hope for the best. He can send us to sleep, but then I do need sleep, so it might work in my favour. Let's take you on. You've got a drowsy, you're also a little bit of a git. Can we one-shot with return? Yes, we can. That gets us up to level 28. Hopefully that will be enough. We'll super potion again. Running out of heals quick, sharp, and in a hurry, though. So we will need to procure more. I didn't buy any in Azalea Town. I normally do, but for some reason it escaped my brain. Let's take on the rival this time. We are level 28. How much do we do against the Haunter now? I reckon we could scam this and get a high roll. Could be wrong, but I think we are in potential one-shot range. Yes, we are. Brilliant. Send this to sleep. Just like that. Return is probably going to be our strongest move. As long as this Magnemite stays asleep, just like that, I think we have the win in the bag now. Just needed that extra little bit of levelage. Going to be a 3-shot probably on the Croconaw, but that's fine. He doesn't have an Ice-type move. Doesn't know what type coverage is. We'll fall through the floor. We shall release those beasts. And now it will be time to take on Morty. I'll skip ahead through the gym trainers, and we will reconvene when we are in front of Morty himself. That's a bunch of mediums and sages beaten up. Let's now take on Morty, gym leader number 4. Ghost-type specialist leads with Ghastly. Ghastly's a one-shot, probably a range on the Haunter. We high roll. Up next is the Gengar. Hypnosis misses, so we get to hold on to the Minceberry. And now we have a very easy end to the battle. Nice stuff there. Morty on our first try. He is a dual Ghost and Poison-type leader, I beg your pardon. And we do get Shadow Ball. That means we can now leave here. We'll stick on a Super Repel so that we don't get encounters. And we'll start making our way onwards towards the Lake of Rage. I do want to take on Miller, though, before we do anything else. Just because he has a pair of really strong Pokemon. Or should I say, really good experience-giving Pokemon. Not so much on the strong side, but it's good to take him on because he is free experience with Hidden Power Ice. Let's get past that awkward spinner there, and we'll start making our way further north now. What do we need from here? We need to get the Bitterberry first and foremost. Let us go and grab Hidden Power now. Oh, there's the bike shop call. Fairly early for us on this one. Although we have been here, there, and everywhere already on the bike. We'll grab the Hidden Power TM rather. Probably should have done this the other way around thinking about it, but what can we do? And I'm not talking about Hidden Power, I'm talking about that rare candy. But that's absolutely fine. The way down is quicker than the way up, and we would have needed to use another repel regardless. And then we can just take a quick shortcut across here, and we'll take on this pesky Slowbro. Ben, you are getting revenge taken out on you for runs past. It's not your fault. I am still salty about Slowbro. Let's take on this Cool Trainer Pokefan as well. He's got a Nidoking. Very, very good experience. And with that, we shall use another Super Potion, because this Gyarados is a little bit terrifying. We should be okay, but then again, we might not be. Guess, go for Bite. Keep going for Bite. Or Leah failing. Perfect. Red Scale acquired. Lance, what have you got to say to us? Oh, you're blagging, are you? We know your tricks. We know that you've come here to evolve your Dragonair early. You cannot be deceitful for too long with us. Monica, we've already spoken to you, but you have just reminded me that we should stick on the Sharp Beak again, so thank you for your presence there. Very much appreciated. Let's get past Swimmer Kaylee. Nobody wants to be Swimmer Kaylee. Not even Swimmer Kaylee wants to be Swimmer Kaylee. Don't need to heal. Let's say hello to the man in the dodgy shop, dealing his secret potion as he always does. And in to gym number 5 we go. Starting with Legs the Hitmonlee with a one-hit. Can we one-hit the Hitmonchan with the Sharp Beak for our wings for some reason? No, we can't. Could have got frozen there, that would have been disastrous, but we didn't. Up next is the Knob. He has a Machop and a Machoke, so Knob likes the Machoke, is what we're learning here. What about the Lung? What does the Lung like? The Lung likes things to be a little bit manky. So yes, we've got a Manky Lung and a Machoke Knob in this challenge. He's also got a Primeape. Good for him, I suppose. Makes no difference to us. Our NOCTOWL just sees lunch with all of them. Let's take on Chuck. Now, Chuck is gym leader number 5, a fighting type specialist, leads with his own Primeape. And again, it's a simple one-shot. We'll do 2 hits of wing attack on the Poliwrath. And we woke up early, so we scammed you, Chuck. How about that? Storm badge in 2607. Let's leave. Let's say hello to Chuck's wife. She's going to body shame him. And now I've got some housekeeping to get on with. I'll also do the rockets. And we will reconvene at Mr. Price. And that's the rockets all taken care of here in Mahogany Town. We get the bath plug from Lance, as well as HMO6, which is just going to take up bag space. And now we get to leave. We're going to very quickly dip in the Pokémon Center. We're going to change the date to Tuesday. And then we are going to actually say yes to the day changing, because we are going on a quick detour over to route number 29. Where we're going to chat to this lady. This is Tuscany of Tuesday. She's going to give us the pink bow. We're getting the early pink bow because every little help will be what we need for Jasmine. And it might help against Price as well. But with that, we can fly over to Mahogany Town. And we can take on some trainers in Price's gym. We're going to start off with Roxanne because she'll be an easy one-shot with return. And then we can look at trying not to get Border Douglas. We did not get Border Douglas, so now we can take on Price. Our next gym leader number 6, Ice-type specialist, led with Seal. Seal went down in 1. Dugong does a little bit of damage with an Aurora Beam, and then it's hopefully going to be a 2-shot on the Piloswine, just like that. Price is defeated, Glacier Badge obtained in 32:51. Now we've done everything we can to prepare. We have inevitable difficulty around the corner because it's time to take on Jasmine. She's the gym leader out of them all I am most terrified of, apart from maybe Surge in Vermilion. Let's take her on, see how this goes. She leads with Magnemite. We're going to try and send it to sleep. Didn't work. We are just going to try and jank this, I think. I don't particularly want to use our first Prosecure Berry here. We send the first one to sleep. As long as it's 2-turn sleep, we will get through this first Magnemite just like that. Magnemite number 2 comes out. Misclick there, meant to go for Hypnosis. We send it to sleep. And then 2 more returns takes care of those. On to the Steelix we go. Hypnosis, send it to sleep. Hidden Power. And it screamed bloody murder at us. Iron Tail does a lot of damage. Oh no. She's secret potioning, isn't she? It's been a while since Jasmine has secret potioned. We need to try and get the drips off the floor where her Steelix has missed drinking it, so that we can give some to our NOCTOWL here. We're off to a fairly good start. 2-turn sleeps on both of the Magnemite line. Onto the Steelix once more. Send it to sleep first try, and we're just going to Hidden Power once more. Hopefully this time, if Screech hits, we won't end up getting knocked out. Or it can just have the longest nap in the world. Thank you, Jasmine. I rescind my accusation of secret potion to you. Get the call from Elm. That means we are ready for the rockets. But we're going to postpone it as much as we can because we don't like the rockets and there's an interesting new route opened up. So let's go on said interesting new route. Route number 44. I found a Weeping Bell here as a child and I really fell in love with Weeping Bell and I've got no idea why. It's just one of those Pokemon, it had a cool cry I suppose, and I was like, yeah, I like this. And then I forgot about that until this exact moment. Let's get ourselves through the ice path. I'm not expecting greatness from my movement in this ice path because I am incredibly tired and I'm playing kind of sloppily anyway. I've not really, ever since the heat wave, my other half's had this as well. We've just not felt right. We felt like the heat has taken something out of us. And we don't know what it is, and we'd like that something to be put back, please. Because we liked that thing where it was, and now we don't have it anymore. But enough about my woes of the world with the heat wave. I do have to say, though, that heat wave in the United Kingdom might not have broken temperature records, but it did break real field records. It was the warmest the United Kingdom has ever felt, and my goodness me, you could tell. It was bloody warm. on that particular heat wave. And we've got another one coming up at the end of the week, so I'm going to try and record as much as possible so that I can just veg out at the end of the week so I don't have to think about recording when it's too hot, because my dehumidifier makes this room a bloody oven. It adds like 1.5 Celsius a day, and that's just not what you need when it's a blooming heat wave. We're in for a hot summer though if you're in Europe, so please do take precautions if you can. We'll get the mystery berry in case we need it. We will also grab the Perscure berry, and we'll make our way back to Goldenrod. Tell you what, I'll start doing the rockets, and we'll meet back up for rival number 4. And so we've made it through the first part of the radio tower, and that brings us in to rival number 4. This time he is going to lead with his Golbat. We're going to use a hidden power, and we do one-shot the Golbat, thank goodness for that. Hidden power is probably going to be a 2-shot on the Magnemite, but we have been paralysed. That isn't great, I've got to be honest. We've been sworn at by the Haunter. It's all going to come down to luck, I reckon. If we can one-shot the Sneasel, then we've got a few turns for the Feraligatr. Fully paralysed on turn 1, brilliant. One more hit and we'll be fine. Just like that. No need to panic, we do get through. Although that was a little bit close for comfort. That Magnemite line really, really is a pain in the bum for us. We'll use our full restore here. Might as well get up to full health again. That's what the full restore is for. And we can easily get more at the league. It just means that we'll have to buy an extra one. We'll probably need a few for Kanto as well. Trying to avoid Pokemon Center healing when we've got high PP. I'm going to try and put the full restores quite close to the top of the bag as well, so that we have better bag management. I've stopped doing my bag sort, and I think that's where I'm losing a little bit of time at the moment. So I do need to start pausing the timer and sorting out the bag again. Something I used to do all the time in the early runs. It used to be pause the timer, sort out the bag, because with my dyslexia, if I tried sorting out the bag with the timer going, with that additional pressure, everything would be all over the place and I wouldn't have a bloody clue where anything is. Anyway, there are plenty more rockets. I'm not going to make you sit through them. Let's skip ahead to the top of the tower. And so we have made it to the final executive here in the radio tower. 3 Pokemon, hopefully going to be 3 one-shots. Can't see him putting up any resistance at all as we grow up to 46. And that is Team Rocket defeated for another challenge. We're halfway there now. In about 40 to 50 minutes time, we shall be done with this challenge, hopefully. We don't need a second pink bow, actually. Sorry, Marie, not today. We've already got one. We got one from Tuscany because she's available earlier. However, we do need to get the radio card. So let's answer double 1, 2, 1 and 2. And that is how we get the radio card. We'll need that to get past the Snorlax in Kanto. Let us go to Blackthorn City. I am going to very quickly see if we've got enough money to buy a few full heals and a couple of max potions, just in case this gym goes thingies up, because it does have the potential to go very, very pear-shaped. Going to try return on our litmus test trainers, because if we can get away with return, even better. Although we do have Hidden Power Ice and the Nevermelt Ice, should we need it. That's what I think we'll do for Lance, but we've still got a bit of a way to go until Lance. How much do we do against the Seadra? Oh, that's in the weird range where it may or may not be a one-shot on the Dragonair. Oh, we're going to have to test even more. First of all, let's get through this horsey man. He's got a horsey and a Seadra, and he also whinges about not having real dragons, even though he's surrounded by a bunch of Dragonair all around this place. Come on, we've only been smokescreened once, for goodness sake. Might end up having to use Hidden Power just through sheer necessity alone. How much do we do against this? It's a one-shot, but is it a consistent one-shot? That is the question. I'm hoping this, combined with the extra friendship we get for battling Claire. Actually, no, we're already at max happiness. Scratch that. We're just going on the extra base power, or raw power, I should say, because we've leveled up to 47. Let's see how we get on. One shot, please. Yep, one shot. Don't need to worry. No need to fret. No need to panic. We're absolutely A-okay. Let's use a couple of these on the Kingdra as well. She crits and she's healing. She's being mean today. But it doesn't matter. We get through her. But we don't have her badge quite yet, because she's a right awkward git, is Claire. She cannot accept losing, so she decides to send us on a quest here, there, and every bloody where. Let us take on this dick as well, Darren. We don't like Darren on the channel. He is a nasty piece of work. Gonna get the calcium, can't use that, but we can sell it for some money for some heals later. Grab this max elixir, gonna come in useful, I'm sure, at some point. Through the whirlpool with the bath plug, and in to answer the same questionnaire that we just answered a moment ago. 112, 1 and 2 gets Claire coming into the Dragon's Den, and we are going to get our final Jotonian badge in 46 minutes and 26 seconds. Sub-hour Claire, very happy about that. Sub-hour, sub-50 minute Claire, even better. Not quite the sub-40 minute Claire, but we're still on a very good pace for a Pokemon with these base stats. You always have to take into account the base stats when you have your expectations of how well you'll do, and NOCTOWL is far outpacing my expectations at the moment. I thought we'd be in a lot more trouble than we were at Jasmine, and I thought Price might have given us some grief as well, but he didn't. We're out of return, so we're going to have to wing attack these Pokemon. I kind of decided to battle Megan here because I want to skip a couple of the other trainers. We will take on Cool Trainerina though. She's a really good Pokemon trainer to take on. She's got some good experience locked behind her. Although we are going to have to take the 2-shot on the Starmie. No real sense. Let's Hidden Power the Nidoqueen actually. There's no real sense in doing a bag heal when we've got a heal house coming up in just a moment. I think we'd have lost more time and we'd have lost a useful item. Trying to replenish the PP of return at that moment. There we go, back up to maximum PP. We skip Joyce, we skip him, I've forgotten his name. We'll take on Jake though. Jake has some good experience for us. Plus it gives us a chance to put return through its paces even more. Now the next trainer is mandatory. This is Beth with her Rapidash. I really hope we can one-shot this thing because Rapidash can be a right pain in the bum. But we do one-shot it, so we don't need to worry. Let's get the max elixir, let's do the little loop-de-loop. And we can get our bums into Victory Road. Final Super Repel of the first part of the challenge going on. And then we will pick up the HP up so that we can use it for the Karen battle. And with that, we are ready for the final rival battle. We're going to stick on a Persian Berry for this one. Let's see how it goes. This is Rival 5 in Victory Road. He's going to lead with Sneasel. Free start for us, one shot on the Sneasel. Out comes the Magneton. Go to sleep, take a nap. And then we'll return it. Hopefully it's going to be a 2-shot, but it might be a 3-shot. We low rolled, but the Magneton stayed asleep, so we don't have to worry. We can Hidden Power the Golbat, that goes down very easily as we grow up to 50. We will wing attack the Haunter, that's another 1-shot. Off to return for the Kadabra, and the last Pokemon is going to be for Alligator. It's going to be a 2-hit, we get a crit with Rage and we get down to 173, so we might as well not even have bothered. Let us now talk to you, let's procure some full restores. Can we afford any? That is the question. Oh, we've got a full bag. Bloody hell. Get rid of the max potions. Short but sweet for those. Get rid of the calcium, actually. And then we'll buy our full restores. Goodness me. How many can we buy? We'll buy 9 of them. Save a little bit of money in case we need something else. And we will get them up to top spot. Just there. Will do. Actually, no, let's put them below the repels. I do need to bring the max potions up. Right, let's take a look at our stats going into the league. While we do that, I'm just going to give a Bitterberry to our NOCTOWL. We are level 50 with 188 HP, holding the Bitterberry with Return, Hidden Power Ice, Hypnosis and Wing Attack. 91 in attack, 86 in defense, 118 in special attack, 138 special defense, and 105 in speed. Don't forget, these are just the out of battle stats. We're about to get a big buff in battle, as we'll see in a second, against Will. As for this league, I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I think there are going to be some easy battles, there are going to be some tricky battles. Karen, as always, don't know what's going to happen there. Not particularly worried about Bruno today. Koga will be Koga. He will do as he does. Will also will be Will, but we get a Slowbro to beat up. And then Lance, it could go either way. It all depends on what happens with the RNG. So let's get ourselves into League. Let's see how we go. This is Will, League member number 1, a Psychic type specialist, going to lead with Xatu. We'll use Hidden Power against Xatu, and it is a one-shot. Return will hopefully one-shot the Jinx, so we don't need to worry about her. Here comes Slowbro. Please use Amnesia. You went for bloody Curse. And you're still swearing at us. I want to swear at you. And you've paralysed us. Ugh. Bloody Slowbro. Thank goodness we have a lot of special defense. And we low roll against Xatu. Wonderful. Can we at least do some work against this Executor? We get crit. So we take a reset at will. Oh. One bit of RNG into another bit of RNG into a loss. Slowbro's cursed for me at the moment. I tell you that for nothing. Let's keep going back through his Pokemon. Use Amnesia. Thank you. 2-shot. That's what could have happened. Can we one-shot this Xatu this time? No, we can't. But we do have the Bitter Berry, because we knew that he was going to try and confuse us. Let's see what we do against the Executor. Psychic doesn't crit, but F-drop doesn't matter. We get through this time. It's fine. Will in 51-10. Let's move on to Koga, second League member. Poison type specialist, leads with Ariados. That is lunch for our NOCTOWL. Fortress comes out to play. We don't really have anything for it. We're going to send it to sleep, just in case it wants to become a bomb. We do not want an exploding Fortress. We would really be happy without an exploding Fortress, and we don't get an exploding Fortress. Are you going to minimalise your acid armouring? But that doesn't matter, we 2-shot regardless. Go to bed, Crobat, thank you. Oh, you're using a full restore, we'll just have to crit you. We scammed you. That's the RNG paying us back for the Will battle. First try Koga in 51-54. Up third is Bruno. He's a fighting type specialist. He is going to lead with his Hitmontop. Can we one-shot the Hitmontop? That is the question. The answer is no. That's not good. Maybe we can one-shot this Onix with Hidden Power. Yes, we can. What about Hitmonchan? Going to take some damage from Mach Punch, but we can one-shot it. Machamp is next. Go to bed, Machamp. I said go to bed. Just like that. Let's use a couple of returns and hope it stays asleep or misses. As long as we can one-shot the Hitmonlee, we'll be absolutely fine. No need to panic. Growing up to 53. And that is that for Bruno. Up fourth is Karen. And for Karen, we are going to do some prep work. Full restore in the face. We are going to use our Elixir at this point. We're then going to use the HP up. And we're going to hold on to our second Bitter Berry. That is the prep work for Karen after we've rare candied, of course, as well. We mustn't forget that part. And that gets us up to level 58. Let's take her on and see how this goes. Final Elite 4 member leads with Umbreon. We've been sand attacked. We're going to take a reset. I'm going to try and send this Umbreon to sleep because it's probably going to be a 3-shot on it. Maybe it's a 2-shot. Sand attack's failed. Let's see. It is a 2-shot. Goes for Faint Attack. We're fine. Gengar's next. It's going to swear at us. I've got no doubt about that. But it does knock itself out. We can return away the Murkrow. No worries about that one there. Maybe a one-shot on the Houndoom. It is a one-shot on the Houndoom. Can we one-shot the Vileplume? Yes, we can. Karen wasn't too bad in the end. That means we can do our prep work for Lance now. So we are going to stick on the Never Melt Ice for this one, actually. I think that's going to be better. Do we need to do anything else? Probably. Can I remember what it is? No. So are we just going to go in? Yes. Lance, the Liar with the Flyers. Final thing between us and the Hall of Fame. Leads with Gyarados. Return is a 2-shot against the Gyarados as we grow up to 59. Dragonite number 1 comes out to play. Let's use Hidden Power. We got an extra text box there, so my muscle memory was all janked. We can one-shot both of these. Absolutely fantastic to see. Is there a one-shot on the Scarodactyl? It is. Wonder if the Never Melt Ice helps there. We'll use Return against the Zard here. He's going for Hyper Beam because he's desperate. And then one final hit finishes off the last Dragonite. We grow up to level 60, and that is Lance defeated. Let us now get our final Hall of Fame time for this challenge. We are clocking in for this Hall of Fame at 54 minutes and 53 seconds. Not bad going at all. Let's now take a look at the midpoint leaderboard. And so at the midway point of our NOCTOWL 4 moves challenge, we are in 26th place, in between Gyarados and Arcanine there. That's not a bad place to be in between. It does of course mean there is no change to page 1 of our midpoint leaderboard. Let us move on to the overall Crystal leaderboard now, and let's see where we are. We are in 59th place, in between Miltank's end of the line and Electabuzz's end of the line. And that, again, is not too shabby. I think that's about fair for our NOCTOWL at this point of the challenge. We have absolutely made up a lot of time versus our original NOCTOWL challenge. As I always say, it's not comparing like for like. We did go from Hoot Hoot into NOCTOWL and we learnt our moves, which did give us a bigger choice of moves in that challenge. But of course, we do get some stronger moves at the beginning of this one, so they kind of average each other out. You can see 170th place for the previous NOCTOWL challenge. This is only half the story though. We do have another 8 gym badges plus the red fight left to come, so everything is still to play for in this challenge. Just one more thing before we leave for the Kanto break. If you are having fun, please do leave a like on this video and let me know that you've listened to this part. But with that, as we go on to the first couple of pages of the overall leaderboard at the midpoint, I will say thank you for watching this part, but it's still all to play for. We do have the next 8 gym badges plus the red fight left to come, so I tell you what, don't you dare go anywhere, because Kanto is next. And now we are rejoining the action as we always do here in Vermilion City, where the first thing we're going to do is get a rare candy from the chairman of the Pokemon fan club. And with that safely tucked away in our bag, we are going to try taking on Surge next. I don't know if this is a good idea, but we are absolutely going to try it. Pick up that full heal there. Don't know if you knew that was there, but it is an item that you can pick up on your way to Surge, and you never know when it could come in handy. We are going to swap items for the Surge battle because we are going to stick on a Purr's Cure Berry, hoping that a Purr's Cure Berry and a little bit of Hypnosis luck will get us through this battle. We should have another one. Yes, we do. We've still got 2, so we're absolutely fine. This is Surge. He is our first Cantonian gym leader. An electric type specialist, leads with Raichu. One hit on the Raichu to get us started. Out comes the Magneton. We send it to sleep. Then let us use Return and hope it's 2-shot. It is. We don't need to worry about the rest of the battle now. That was the dangerous Pokemon all taken care of. Electabuzz goes down. Electrode is going to be next. That's another 1-shot. And then the last Pokemon is his other Electrode. That is Surge done. Thunder Badge acquired. And that is one of the dangerous gym leaders all taken care of. With that, we can take a trip up north. And we're going to dip into the Pokemon Center. And you know what? We'll take on Sabrina now. Is this a sensible idea? Probably not. Are we going to do it anyway? Yes. This is Sabrina, gym leader number 2 of 8 here in Kanto. She leads with Peskeon. If we one-shot the Peskeon, I'll feel better about doing this now. We do one-shot the Peskeon. Can we one-shot the Mr. Mime? Yes, we can. And we can one-shot the Alakazam. I don't think you can dig out of here, but I am going to very quickly try it as we get the Marsh Badge in 5747. I don't think this is diggable. Nope, that is just a Gen 3 thing, maybe a Gen 1 thing as well. But we can now Rentalabra back to the start of the Pokemon Center here in Saffron. And we'll move on to Celadon. We're going to pick up the leftovers. No, we're not. Our bag management today is terrible. We don't need this Mystery Berry. Let's get rid of it. We do need the leftovers, though. We'll pick those up and we'll go into our third gym. This one should be fairly trivial. It's a grass-type gym after all. We're just going to spam Wing Attack and Return and Hidden Power Ice if we need to. We have plenty of options for this gym. Not going to take on full trainers, so I don't think taking on the extra Picnicker with the Hoppip line is going to be worth it. And we get a lot of experience from the Executor for a single battle. On to Beauty Julia. She's got the Paris line and an Execute, I do believe. So she's going to be in for a really terrible time of it. Feel sorry for her in this one. 3 one-shots as we're almost at level 62, and we'll take on Erica. Gym leader number 4, I do believe, here in Kanto. No, gym leader number 3, I beg your pardon. Led with Tangela. Tangela's a one-shot. Probably the best move for this is Wing Attack against the Blossom. We get a high roll and we knock it out. We'll swap to return for the Victory Bell. We get the victory over the Victory Bell, and we can one-hit the Jumpluff as well. That's another gym badge acquired in 59:17. Let's get out of here. Let's get on the bike. Let's get ourselves down Cycling Road next. Here in Cycling Road, we're going to do absolutely nothing, but we do need to take on a mandatory NOCTOWL. You, Birdkeeper Bob, you have excellent taste in Pokemon. Let us knock you out just like that, because we have a better NOCTOWL, because we've trained ours. And now let's take on the easiest gym leader in all of Kanto. It's time for Janine, nepotism in gym form. She leads with Crobat. Crobat is a one-shot. Up next is going to be Weezing. Can we one-shot this? Yes, we can. It's going to be another one-shot on her second Weezing as we grow up to 63. We've only got the Venomoth and the Ariados left to go. 2 further one-hits seals her fate, and that is the Soul Badge acquired. And for some reason, our splits have gone wonky. We're just going to have to deal with it, unfortunately. Soul Badge has been acquired. Let's get ourselves back to Saffron, and we shall make our way through the rock tunnel. Tell you what, I'll do this off camera because I'm very tired. I'll meet you back on the other side. I like it when an overlay fix is nice and simple like it was just then. I'd fat-fingered 5 instead of 2 for the final 2 splits, which is why they were showing incorrectly. That has been fixed. It was 1 hour and 9 seconds. For the Janine battle, let's have a little chat with the manager of the power plant, and then we'll go up and do everyone's favourite part of the challenge. You know what it's time for. It's going to be time for Nugget Bridge. And in this one, what I want to talk about is how much fun I'm having with these weird and wonderful crystal challenges that are entering my brain. I really did like the challenge we did the other day, where we just had every single Gen 3 Pokemon invited to the party, and I couldn't lose. It was nice to have a challenge where I was guaranteed to never ever lose. And even if it did have a few technical issues, it was an awful lot of fun. And those of you who do listen to the little Kanto chat we have here, you're the people who have the best ideas. So if you've got any more ideas for silly challenges we can do in Crystal, let me know. It doesn't matter if you don't think it's viable or not. As long as I can find a way to code it, I will definitely be up for giving it a try. I really want to try and do as many different silly things as possible here in Pokemon Crystal. We've got the 16-bit disassembly now working for the challenge patch. We've got it working for all of the other challenges we do. It's all in one now. So it really is an opportunity to expand on what we have done over the last 4 years nearly, and go and find some new fun to be had in this game. We've not played it to death enough. We still have plenty more we can do to eke even more out of Pokemon Crystal. Whether it's bringing in weird and wonderful Pokemon, whether it's having every step cost us money, whether it's getting the curse status condition every single time we start a battle, I am very excited to see what the next 4 years will take for us in this game. But with that, we are ready to fly back to Cerulean, and we'll take on Misty. She is our next gym leader. She is gym leader number 5 here in Kanto. She leads with Golduck. Golduck is a one-shot. Onto the Lapras we go. We do not one-shot it, but Blizzard does hardly anything at all. That is the power of our special defense. We don't need to worry about Blizzard when Blizzard can't hit particularly hard. Cascade badge acquired in 103.42. Let us Rentalabra back to route number 10 now at the power plant, and we'll stick on another max repel. This one will get us all the way through to the west of Kanto, hopefully, if my movement is not too shoddy. We'll return the machine part. That does mean that we can then go to the radio tower here in Kanto, which they very meanly, if I do say so myself, built on top of the old Pokemon Tower. and then we'll go to Vermilion. It just shows that function over any kind of like sense of humanity goes in Kanto. Maybe they did that to show the contrast between Johto being very behind the times and Kanto being an incredibly urban hellscape, if I'm honest. I would not want to live in Kanto myself. Let's do a quick heal here. I think it's going to be quicker than a bag heal at this point. And then we'll go into our next gym. This is Brock's Rock-type gym. Starting off with Campageri here, he's standing in very kindly for Campalium. And we'll move on to Brock himself. He is our next leader. He's a Rock-type specialist going to lead with Graveler. We'll use Hidden Power against the Graveler. We'll grow out to 65 and we knock it out in 1. We're going to do the same against the Onix. We'll knock it out in a single hit. And then we'll get rid of Rhyhorn. The problem is going to be these fossils. We get a crit on the Omastar, which is fantastic, and he doesn't protect. What about the Kabutops? What can we do here? 2-shot? 2-shot seems good to me. That is Brock defeated. Boulder Badge in 105.26. Up next is going to be Blaine. Let's get off the bike so that we can try and avoid 3 drill. And then we can take on Blaine, Blue and Red as our final 3 splits of the challenge. Here in Viridian, we're going to stick on a Max Repel. We're going to Air Balloon up to Viridian City. We'll take another quick heal because we did take some damage. And then we'll get on the bike and get down to Cinnabar Island. We must remember to pick up the rare candy while we're here. Of course, the last challenge we did, I didn't have the option of rare candies, so I didn't pick it up. There is Blue. He is now going to leave, and we'll rejoin him in just a second. We'll get the rare candy, and we will Air Balloon. No, we won't. We'll rental Abra back to Viridian City. Let's go into the gym, and let's see how we do against Blue. He is our final gym leader of the challenge. He is a mixed type specialist. He's going to lead with Pidgeot. We'll use Return against the Pidgeot. He uses Mirror Move and barely tickles us. Up next is Rhyhorn. Can we one-hit the Rhyhorn? Yes, we can. Big danger gone. On to Return for the Alakazam. That's a one-hit as we grow up to 66. Gyarados is next. Can we 2-shot this? Yes, we can, and he's set up the rain. That's what I like to see. That's going to force Arcanine into extreme speed, which will hit a little bit harder, but it means we cannot get burnt. We'll use Return against the Executor. He's now healing looping. He's going to healing loop twice, maybe, just the once this time. He knows it wasn't worth wasting his money on the extra full restore, and that is Blue defeated. That means we can get ourselves over to Pallet Town. We'll have a little chat with Professor Oak here. He's going to unlock Silver Cave for us, and we really are in the end game now. Let's stick on one of our final Super Repels. We will rental Abra back to Viridian once more, and away we go. Let's hope we can do the final ledge of the challenge. We can. That's the hardest ledge of the game. What? We're blocked. If you had Squidgy forgetting Blaine's existence on your bingo card today, well done, you've earned today's star prize, a set of elastic seatbelts for passengers you hate. Let's get ourselves over to Blaine. Sorry, Blaine, we forgot you existed. It's fine. We will beat you up. It's going to make virtually no difference to the end time. Add on like 20-30 seconds. It's absolutely nothing compared to RNG. Let's take him on. He's going to lead with Magcargo. We're going to get burnt now, aren't we? He's swearing at us. That means we swap to Hidden Power. He's still swearing and we knock it out. On to the Bumhead Fire Duck we go. One hit on the Bumhead Fire Duck. How about the Rapidash? Can we one-shot this? Yes, we can. And a nice, clean level 67. Volcano Badge acquired. Back to Professor Bloody Oak for the second time. I clearly was not paying enough attention. I did say I was very tired, didn't I? But we are right at the end of the challenge now. And we're still on a good time. Oh! I need to add around about a minute to this, because the timer decided to break for some reason. Let's add a minute so that we are back in sync. And now the timer will keep on going. I unplugged my controller for some reason, thinking that would help. Obviously it wouldn't. I don't know why I did it, but I did. And that's just what we're going to have to deal with. Let's get ourselves over to Silver Cave now. It's absolutely fine. Not going to get any encounters. We are going to do a quick heal. Tell you what, I'll grab this last rare candy. I'll make my way through the cave. And then we'll take on Red. I should do more of these challenges when I'm very tired. I just got through Silver Cave first try without looking at my cheat sheet. Anyway, this is Red, final trainer of the challenge. He leads with Pikachu. We do not outspeed the Pikachu. We are at 167 speed. He is 171. We are ever so slightly too slow. We're playing for a charm dodge here. We get through Pikachu. Blastoise is next. Take a nap, Blastoise. Go to bed. That's what I'll be doing after this. So if you can play ball, then we'll both get a very good sleep. 3 shots on the Blastoise. That means no super effective moves for us now. Psychic hits us fairly hard, but we do have a lot of special defense. Snorlax is next. You take a nap. Go to bed. You're a sleepy, sleepy, sleepy bear. Then we'll start chipping away at it. Snore is going to do a fair amount, but I'm hoping that we are able to survive. Yes, just like that. Zard is next. Again, take a nap, please. That's what we'd like you to do. We're going to try and recover and hope it's a very, very, very long nap. That's what we are after here. One more turn of sleep would be great. We didn't get it. We're on 21 HP for the Venusaur. We're going to have to send it to sleep, and we're going to have to try and regain health. Wing Attack is probably the best move here. It's fast asleep. I think we have the win now. I know we have the win now, and that is Red defeated in 1:10:52. Goodness me, that was a really fun run. Let's take a look at the final leaderboards. After the retime, we were 1:10:51, which puts us in 20th place on our 4 moves leaderboard. We gained a lot of time. That was a really clean red fight. Happy about that. We've had some really nasty red fights lately. Let's take a look at the overall leaderboard now. And we are in 42nd place, in between 2 egg move runs, courtesy of Kangaskhan and Meganium. That is a really, really good time for NOCTOWL. We didn't quite get the first try red that we got in the last NOCTOWL challenge, but still, once we got through the charm, we were really able to do a lot of damage. Hypnosis played ball, and that was one of the better red fights we've had in recent times. One of the things about 4 moves is you can have a fantastic challenge right up until the red fight, and then because you can't change your learn set for red, you get a little bit screwed over, but that is part of the payoff of getting the good moves early, and that's why I love the 4 moves challenge, because you really do have to think hard. 151st place for our previous NOCTOWL challenge. That was still a good time, definitely for 3 years ago as well, but it just shows how much can change. Like I said at the midpoint, not like for like, but still a very, very nice improvement. But with that, we are done for yet another challenge. It really has flown by, this one, if you'll excuse the pun. I hope you've had fun. If you have, make sure to leave a like. If you've got any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But until next time, when we're going to run another Pokemon, probably through Pokemon Emerald, I will say thank you all so much for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you very, very soon.